One last push. Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd. Today, let's talk about One Piece chapter 1120. And sadly, it's the end of all of the Vegapunks. Well, at least the ones we care about. To be honest, it's really fitting. It's fitting for all of the Vegapunks to end up not being there by the end of the arc because of what he did. And of course, the last video I made states how much of a hypocrite Vegapunk is. I'm not going to get into too much details with that, but it's really fitting for a man who lived his life like that, especially after what we've seen in this chapter, to basically not have his legacy going on once he turned his back. Before we move on, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. Well, Atlas, I'm very proud of her. I'm really proud of Atlas and what she's done at the end. It's crazy to think that not even Atlas or Lilith is going to live and stay along for the ride, but of course that really doesn't make sense because Vegapunk has already done whatever he needed to do for the rest of the world. The Lavosphere, his message to the world, was basically all he needed to do to help the world against the world government. And there was really no point of the other Vegapunks living. And it comes to the topic of, is York going to live by the end of the arc? I would like to say that no. If all the Vegapunks are going, so is York. I don't really see York staying and becoming a celestial dragon, considering how the Gorosei or the world government function as a whole. I don't ever think that they're gonna help York become the next celestial dragon, because finding a royal family and whatnot, I don't really think they want to go through that trouble. I don't think York has done that much to help either. And of course you have to mention that how much the world government likes to use people and not give them whatever they deserve. So this is going to be one of those cases where we see that someone following the world government trying to benefit themselves would end up being hurt because of how the world government functions. Aside from that, Atlas's last push probably helped the Straw Hats sort of get away. And we can now talk to Emeth. But before we talk about Emeth, of course, the big factor that Professor Clover is also a member of the D-Clan. This is something I never thought I would see in the wildest of my dreams. I thought Professor Clover would be one of those people that, of course, he needed a reason as to why he went on his journey to research about poneglyphs and the Void Century. You need to have a strong motive to figure out why the world is what it is, and I guess this is the perfect way to put it. But I was really expecting something else. I was never really expecting a perspective from Clover explaining why he went and did research on the Void Century, but now it makes perfect sense. The D in his name and the way the people of the D initials have been terrorized by the world government and how big of a taboo it is to have that name, it just goes to show the sheer significance of it. Granted, the Ds we've seen so far have either been very self-reliant or so strong to the point where they were never really harassed by the world government. We've seen how races have been treated, like the Fishmen, like the Buccaneers, how they've been treated by the world government, but we've never really seen the D-Clan, any member of the D-Clan being treated like that. Because we've only seen perspectives of either the people of D were either already a part of the Marines, which already makes them immune to prejudice and whatever. And of course, we have to talk about the pirates in the D with the D initials, and every one of them, most of them, were very notable pirates that had power and strength. There has never been a case where there was a member of the D and they've been subjugated to harassment or torture by the world government because they were in a powerless situation. And I guess this is one of those examples that we needed to see. Not every member of the D initial will have to be special. Not every one of them were pirates, not every one of them had significant posts. There were some of the Ds that did very quote-unquote insignificant things in the world and tried to live regular lives, but they couldn't because of their name. And now I guess it makes sense for Clover to have that initial, and I'm probably expecting a few more others, very surprisingly, to have those initials in their names. Other than that, we can go back to Emmett, and last chapter I was going to make a video on Emmett suggesting how he might have advanced Haki, or Haki that is not known to us even now, because the trick to beating the Gorosei we still don't know about. There is definitely some sort of a form of Haki that we have yet to be discovered that was probably there in the ancient times but got lost with time and practice that we were going to rediscover again. Emmett does have powers that needs to be unlocked even now, which is why he called for Joy Boy and says it's a time to use it. This is definitely some sort of a mode or power that's been laying dormant within Emmett, and now it's time to awaken it. Maybe I don't have to make a dedicated video on this, but maybe this is going to be the time where we see a counter to the Gorosei and Neem Sama that might help Luffy with his journey with his future opponents as well. Maybe even Blackbeard. But what the power is kind of hard to bet. We've already seen Emmett lost an arm. He only has one arm left. But I'm sure that if this power is going to be something very special from the Ancient Kingdom, it's going to be something very, very, very special. Vegapunk's robots are already doing a lot of damage, like the Pacifistas, and I'd like to believe that the Ancient Kingdom has much more potential than what Vegapunk did, because Vegapunk said it himself. So I'm looking forward to how much Emmett can actually unlock and help the Straw Hats escape. Of course, we also have an editor's note saying that there's going to be one more twist on Egghead Island before we leave. I'm looking forward to that twist, but I really, really, really want Emmett to do some cool stuff. And maybe give hints towards the future of the future power scaling of the story. Because even with Luffy's advanced conquerors, it's not going to help with the Gorosei. Last but not least, the last revealing of Gold D. Roger, we have to remember that we know as readers that Gold Roger was actually called Gold D. Roger, but the world never knew. And I guess this would shine more light upon the general people and how they've been tricked, and it'll make them think. Unfortunately for Vegapunk, the entire speech on the Will of D was emitted. Of course, this is not the time for the world to know yet, not us readers as well. So I guess that has to wait. And that's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.